Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Tony, and today we're going to be talking about gain staging. So what is gain staging? Gain staging is the act of making sure that you're sending the appropriate level of audio from one part of your signal chain to the next part of your signal chain. Essentially making sure that the output level of your EQ, for example, is not overloading the input level of your compressor, for example. Back in the days of analog recording and mixing, this was essentially something that you just had to do naturally to make sure your gear worked properly. These days though, with digital recording, your plugins can handle such high levels of volume without drastically breaking up that it's caused gain staging to be seen as kind of a specialty technique almost, or something that a lot of beginners really just don't even think about. And it's true that improper gain staging isn't as immediately noticeable in the digital realm, but improper gain staging on every track can still add up and be largely detrimental to the final product. I do find that illustrating this point is much easier with analog gear than with digital gear. So we're going to fly something up onto my desk behind me and show you what this is all about. Alright, so I've set up just a 2-bar kick drum loop just to help us illustrate this point. So I've got that going to channel 12 on my board, and for the sake of this video I've got it going through the line input rather than the tape return. Okay, so I've just set the gain and the output level of that on this channel. Now, I've set the gain slightly on the edge of being just a little bit too much for the sake of the demonstration. So you could hear at the end of that it still sounded like a kick drum. It sounded, might have been a little bit dirty from the gain, but overall, fairly clean sounding kick drum. So now we're gonna send that to a compressor on my rack over here. Again, for the sake of this video, I find that my DBX 266XL gives the clearest example. So I'm gonna be sending it out through the insert send on my board here. Now the insert send is a single jack send and receive, meaning that it's got you plug a TRS insert cable into it, and on either the tip or the ring is the send, and the other one is the receive. I can't quite remember which one is which in this particular case. Ever wonder why they call them plugins? All right, so we've plugged in our DBX compressor, and here's how it sounds now. So you can hear right away that it sounds a little distorted, crackly, a little overdone. That's because our gain staging is wrong. So I'm going to turn down the gain and you'll be able to hear it go from crackly and distorted and everything back to a clean kick drum. Improper gain staging, proper gain staging. So I hope that illustrates the point of how gain staging can drastically affect the quality of your sound. Now that's all well and good in the analog world, but let's take a look at that in the digital world. Alright, so for starters we've got this instance of Waves 1073 plugin. Let's do a little EQing on this. In most cases, when it comes to EQs, improper gain staging is caused by the inherent level boost that happens when you're boosting frequencies on your EQs. So when you're doing large boosts or cuts, make sure you're checking in on your plugin's input and output levels. So you can see on the VU meter here, now we've got a fairly healthy level of output, pretty low level of input. So let's take this input fader, slide it up a little bit. But now if we switch to the output, you see we're peaking quite a bit. So if we bring that down, right around there we'll be sending a healthy level to our next plugin. So our next plugin is going to be this DBX 160 emulation. So it looks like the input's a little high there, so we're going to bring down the output of our 1073 until that's sitting right around 0. Same with the output. Awesome. Now we can mess with this and make it sound however crunchy we want. Great. So that sounds pretty good. Now for the sake of this, let's overload the crap out of this DVX160. I'm going to bring that output way up and hear how it sounds. So let's bring that back down to a respectable level. And back up to a crazy level. So the examples in this video have been exaggerated so that you can more clearly see the effects of gain staging. But even at a smaller amount, when you have a mix that's got 20, 30, 40, 100 tracks on it, if you're not keeping a close eye on your gain staging, these little bits of distortion can add up and drastically affect the quality of your mix. I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. If you like what you saw, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can see when I've got some more videos out. And stay tuned for more videos coming shortly. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.